This is a Model T buzz coil. Most of these are made by KW. The company had a patent on this little feature that a lot of people don't even see. If you look closely here, to the right is a little rivet, and you see how when I go down with the points, it's allowing the point assembly to accelerate. And what it does is it hits this rivet on the right and it stops it. And that's kind of like cracking a whip, and it really makes the separation of the points quite positive. You see, because if it was just the magnet without this, it would probably be a little ambiguous about when these open. But when this thing is set up correctly, it snaps on this rivet here. And it has a bit of momentum, and then it comes to a sudden stop, which kind of makes it a very positive action for the opening of these points. Sometimes you get new points, and this rivet isn't even set up right, and sometimes they get stuck. So it's very important to have a close look at the. You have to hold them up to the light. Sorry, I'm having a hard time focusing here. You have to hold them up to the light to really get an idea of whether this is working. Sometimes if they're too loose, there's too much travel, then it's really not going to be effective. If there's no travel, which is quite often the case, then you've got to kind of figure out how to get the cradle or whatever is holding that rivet together. And sometimes the new reproduction points you get, they're just like this right from the beginning, or they're not like this from the beginning. The rivet is messed up. But that's just one of the million little details that make these boats work. What I've got here is a little portable power supply. It's a lab supply that came out of a high school or yard sale. I can't quite remember which. But on the left here is a voltage, which I can vary with this knob here. And on the right is the amperage. Now on a Model T, you want it to be drawing about 1.4 amps. It's a little much for a Disc Pro. I like to have them set up so they're drawing 1 amp. So I've got all the wires hooked up here. The green one here, it will be the signal from the timer. It's also common with the ground on the spark plug. On the back end here would be the power feed from the ignition switch, and the bottom one here is the power to the spark plug. So I have a spark plug here because it's not really good to run a coil without any load. So there is some load here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to fire it up, and I notice here I've got it set to about 9 volts. I see I'm drawing about 1.2 amps, which isn't really bad. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. But just to illustrate what I would do, just going to back this out a bit. What I would do is if it was not enough amperage, say it was drawing less than that, I would tap the bridge here with a little hammer. And what that does is it increases the spring tension on the vibrator, thereby increasing the amount of amperage to close this. So by tapping this, it will increase the amp draw. And if I've increased it, or if it's increased too much and I want less amp draw, I just get a screwdriver, in this case this little hammer here, and just gently pry up the back of this bottom spring here. And what that does is it relieves the tension on this coil, and it will drop the amperage. So that's pretty much. I'm not going to get into testing the capacitor here because I'm pretty sure this coil already has a new capacitor in it. But and it seems to be working fine. If it wasn't working fine, I might use my coil tester to test the capacitor. But I think this coil here is ready to go on the boat.